morning, y'all. It is a Saturday morning. That means that today we're concentrating more on stuff that's going on here on the homestead. I'm Deb, and you're here at Generations Homestead. One of the first things I'm going to do this morning is it's fall garden time. So I am headed over to the greenhouse. I've got a few seeds that I want to get started. So we're going to be doing that today. We're going to till up some of the garden that we pulled, like the old green beans and old tomatoes out and stuff like that. So we're going to be tilling that part up today with the tractor so we can get some more green beans going in there. Rob here at Brown Thumb Nursery, he has got a plant sale that's starting here in just a little bit. So he's got some appointments set up for people to come today. But guys, I want you to check out what he's been doing out here. Hold on a minute. This one's not for sale. That's my candy cane rose he got me at Petals from the past. But I wanted to show that to you. Isn't that beautiful? So we've got all of this good stuff going on. Some of these are hydrangeas he got for me over at the office for when we get that done over there. And some of the old-fashioned tea roses. But then look at all of this he's got propagated. Now, this all here is stuff that's coming up for our fall garden that he's got started for us already. Some kale, Brussels sprouts, and such. But then he's got like hydrangeas and hibiscus and stuff like that. And I don't know what all he's got in here that's ready to go and start growing really good. Some hydrangeas, limelights. Oh, I love limelights. More of those. Look at that. The Wandering Jews are doing amazing. See those over there? He's got a mater that's growing out of a bag. Some hostas. Hey, babe, you've been busy.
Mm-hmm.
So what all are you got going on for the plant sale today?
Well, I don't know. The main thing I put on was these hibiscus here that are blooming. That was the main thing for the sale. But I listed a few other things I have. I got some hydrangeas and red twig dogwood, linwood gold forsythias. I got a bunch of stuff that's big enough to sell. And so, but the thing that they're coming for is the hibiscus, and if they see anything else that they want, then we'll
very cool
talk to them about that.
All right, that sounds.
And I'll have to
good.
tell them that the stuff that's for your office it's not.
That's
for
right.
sale.
It ain't for sale. My eucalyptus stays right here on this property.
So, but yeah.
Very cool.
Trying to get it kind of where people can walk through. I'm going to try to kind of display them out there. They got them kind of all jumbled up here where you can't even walk through.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to roll out another piece or another roll of
the black fabric.
Weed fabric to give like a wider area out there. It's just real cluttered and all of that. And I'm setting it up to where I can set up a sprinkler out there instead of having, because I spend about 15 to 20 minutes every morning and every evening watering that stuff. This stuff here is on a mist system, but so I don't want to, I'm just trying to streamline it, get it to where I can just turn it on or set a timer and then let it, water them twice a day, because with this pine fines that I'm using, turns out it drains really well, better than maybe it should. I need to add compost to it into the mix, but our compost game isn't quite up there yet, and we haven't bought any, so just using the pine fines, and it's working well, but I just have to water twice a day.
Gotcha.
Because it drains so well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get all this stuff here and all this stuff here moved out into that. I got to move those there so that I can even roll out a roll of plastic, because it's sitting where it's going to go.
Gotcha. Is that the roll of plastic, the stuff that I took over to the office? There. Okay, cool. I snitched that roll.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one I was going to use, but I'll just grab a new roll.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, we'll let you get back to it. I brought my seeds out that we were going to...
Oh, what you got?
All right, let's take a look. So some of the things I was thinking about is mullein. If nothing else, I want to spread it over at the ditch area because that's about where it would grow naturally. And then just have mullein growing over there naturally. So I brought the packet out to do that.
We'll get them started.
Yeah. And then I want to get some oregano. We need to get some of that going because I don't have any in the apothecary. That's the medicinal.
Gotcha. I already started some dill.
You already got my dill going?
I did the dill.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
right over there.
Okay, so my dill's already going. Don't need to worry about that. Chamomile. So we can have some chamomile going for our apothecary. I want to get that going before the fall hits. And then we didn't have any echinacea.
Yeah, none of it survived.
None of it survived the move. So we need to get some of that going, and hopefully it'll be enough to where we can get it established before fall, and we can get it in the ground maybe, and then over by the office, because I want to get quite a bit of that so we can have it to where I want plenty that I would be able to have it for the roots, because the roots are the most medicinal part of the plant.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I can get the flowers and I can use the leaves, but I want to get it to where I don't mind harvesting the roots here in another couple years.
Yeah, no, I know.
So,
yep, we'll get a bunch.
That's what we're doing. All right, I've got the seed, the starter mix already in there. For those of you that are new, I don't know if you guys have seen the video that Rob did on our bench that we use to work on here and starting seeds and everything. If you haven't, this has went viral from a gardening channel on social media, so you can check it out. I'll put the link in the video here for you to check out the gardening bench that a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, it's genius. And it is. So anyways, check out the video. I want to go ahead and get started with Mullen. Rob and I were just talking, and Mullen is great for your home apothecary. It's great for your respiratory system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it started in here because usually about the second year is when Mullen's really good. And when we moved out here, guys, we've talked about this before. We're starting from ground zero. When we lived there in Southside, we had everything established. We had my herb gardens going, the apothecary garden. I mean, it was like all over the place in the raised beds and in the ground and everything. We had elderberry. We had all of that stuff. And now we're starting over again. We were lucky to get in a garden this year, huh, babe?
Yeah.
And we didn't get to spend the time that we needed to with it. And then on top of that, we had a greenhouse, then it was going. And we had seedlings coming up and everything like that. And I'm going to turn you around a minute, see if you can see through here. Y'all see that frame? Yeah, it's upside down. So we had the greenhouse and it was going and had seedlings in there and everything like that. Well, those of you that are familiar, down here in the deep south, tornadoes come through, and a tornado came through our area. We had high winds and the greenhouse ended up on its roof. So we went and we got things kind of righted back and put back together a little bit. And then the following week, another one came through. And so we're just like, you know what? We're taking the covering off. So we took the cover off. We're going to break down and use that for spare parts because some of it's bent, twisted, and all of that. But hey, we live down in the south where we can garden most of the year. So we're happy about that. We love it down here in Alabama. Absolutely love it down here. So anyways, Mullen, back to our subject at hand. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get Mullen going. And then what I would really love to do is, I want to have my potager garden. If you're not sure what a potager garden is, I'll be doing one. You'll learn more about it. But my friend Tracy over at Just Dig It Farms, she has taught on potager gardens, and she is incredible. She's done classes at the nursery that we go to visit. It's a couple hours away at Petals from the Past. And so you can go to her channel as well and listen to what she has to say about potager gardens. But anyways, I'm digressing again. I need to get my mullen started so we can have it ready to go here in a couple of years and build back up my apothecary, because I have just a little bit of the mullen left in my apothecary right now. And what I really want to do is get this farm. I would love to have it to where I know, okay, over here is where it would grow in nature. And I'm going to, once I get it going, I'm going to put some over there too. I want to have some in my gardens, but I want to have some along the tree line. I want to have some over here at the ditch where it's usually wet. I want to do these things so if my garden, if I don't take care of my garden and it doesn't succeed in my garden, it's going to succeed where it would have grown naturally. So that's one of the things that I want to do with mullen. So I might do half of this tray full of mullen, but that's because my plan is to take it elsewhere and to plant it where it would grow in nature so it could take off and grow there too. So let's get busy on planting our mullen. The mullen that I've got, it's from Baker Creek that I had ordered it from. And so basically what I'm going to do is you're just going to go ahead and you're just kind of tapping them into place, because the mullen seed is very, very thin, very tiny, very tiny. So anyways, you surface sow these. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if you guys will be able to see these. Maybe you can. See how tiny those suckers are? Those are sticking to the... But that's why they tell you to surface sow them, is because they're so thin and tiny. Goodness, they're tiny. Speaking of tiny seeds, I get stuck on reels sometime. I don't know if y'all are guilty of that or not. But I get stuck on reels sometime. And I was seeing yesterday, somebody shared the idea where they took seeds this tiny and it would take some time, but they put them on masking tape, just like spaced evenly, and then they cover that masking tape with toilet paper, and then from there they cut them in strips. I just thought it was a really cool idea, and then put them in the ground. So anyways, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. All right. I'm going to pat down. Y'all can't see what I'm doing, can you? Not too good, huh? Here you go. I want to pat down the ones that I already did so I don't forget where I was. Y'all ever do that? Yeah, I do. Mullen, look at that. I don't even have to make a tag. So here forward is my mullen. And now I'm going to see if I can find one for oregano. Do you guys say it oregano or oregano? I know different parts of the country say it different. Just curious. I think it's interesting how we live in the same country and we pronounce things different. It's just kind of cool. I do have Roselle hibiscus. I planted it out at the front, and it's actually coming up really, really good. It's probably about thigh high right now for me. So I'm excited about that one. It's doing good. All right, I got me a tag ready to go for my oregano. So my oregano, I'm just going to do maybe 3 rows of oregano. Maybe 2. Because I really want those echinaceas that we were talking about earlier, so that I can have those for year 2. And again, oregano seeds are very, very, very tiny. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Hey, babe, I'm getting my thumbs brown.
Good job.
Thanks. What got me thinking about putting the plants where they would go naturally. And with this, you also surface sow. And then just kind of tap them in so that they're making good contact with the moist seed starting mix. That'll give them their nice healthy start. Back to what I was saying. One of the things that got me thinking about planting once I get them started, planting them where they would go in nature, is that the other night I was driving the tractor and mowing back around our creek, and I thought, man, it would be so cool if I would hit a patch over there by the area where I was mowing close to the creek, and I'd smell mint. And because mint likes moist area, right? And it grows like crazy. And so I'm like, I could do that. I can make that happen. And I can make it to where mint is growing along our creek. And so when you go to harvest it, if you need to, it's right down there. And so that was what made me start thinking about putting the different herbs around the farm where it would grow naturally. So that's the thought process behind my genius idea, I think. Okay, I'm going to do chamomile. Oh my goodness, guys, check this out. It is early morning and Cupcake has already decided to go for a swim. I think she loves her little pool. Look at her. Isn't she adorable? Good morning, Cupcake. Good morning, Cupcake. Are you having a grand morning? Going for a swim? Yeah. Good job, girlfriend. Guys, on my way back from showing you our little bathing beauty, Rob's like, here, you need to pot this up because it's getting too much in the pot that we have it in. And I'm like, what is it? And he said, it's motherwort. I'm like, ah! So one of my motherwort plants, thanks to my sweet honey, survived. And now I get to up pot it and it gets to continue to grow. This is wonderful, wonderful. So let's get this one up potted. Look at this. Let me get the tags out real quick. Okay, I'm going to take it over here real quick. He said do it over here, and I'm like, I can get it. We're doing it over here. Come on. Oh, now my knees are getting all wet. That's all right. Okay, so here's my motherwort. It is actually a part of the mint family. It is a great herb. Oh, no.
Yep, need to pot it up, didn't it?
Yep, it did. It's a great herb for female reproductive system and such. Helps regulate, helps do different things. Now,
oh, get too much in there.
Yep. Back to, I am not a doctor. I am not prescribing. These are just some of the historical values of motherwort. So this is one of the things I definitely want to keep in my apothecary. You can make it into a tea and have motherwort tea. You can add it as a tea blend. But this is a great herb to have on hand. Now, if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, So, but do your homework on motherwort because motherwort is a very good herb to have on hand. So there's my motherwort. It's up potted now.
Good job.
Thank you. thank you for helping it survive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got my motherwort going. Guys, that makes me really, 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 really happy to have that going. All right, because then I'll be able to take seed off of it. Time for our chamomile. I think I want to go ahead and finish off. I've got two different ones. I've got my German chamomile, and then I've got my Zoddy Lane, and I might just do 2 rows of each. But again, these suckers, you think those last ones were tiny? Come on. Those are even more tiny. So, you just surface sow. Oh, misters are coming on. Shoot. Well, not getting wet so far. I take that back. Okay. Got that chamomile. Be right back. Okay, they're not going as crazy right now, so we'll get back at it. It was just like, oh, I'm getting wet. One of the nice things is, I'm starting to get wet again. The wind shifted. One of the nice things is that we've got this shade house. So even though we are down here in the southern part of the U.S., we're able to go ahead and have the plants out here, and the sun's not going to affect them like it normally would if we didn't have this shade cover. So I'm going to find a place for this, let it get kind of misted in. And we've got my first tray. We've got the Mullen, we've got the Oregano, and we've got the Chamomile. So we're good to go on those. All right, so for my Echinacea, this sucker's going to go off any minute. It won't be misting. My Echinacea, I'm just going to do in the pots like to give them a little extra room to grow and stuff. I like growing Echinacea. It's great for the immune system. Our daughter, when she was in the 1st grade, she had issue after issue health-wise, and it boiled down to her, and this was before we knew any better, but by the time that the doctor was done with all the series of antibiotics that we had to go through, we had ended up taking her to an herbalist, which was our cousin Patty. And we just knew that there was a better way to do this thing, but our daughter's immune system was pretty much destroyed because of all the antibiotics that she had been on. And so we had to work at rebuilding her immune system. Well, come to find out, one of the herbs that you can use to rebuild an immune system as well as fight off and in place of antibiotics, infections, you can use Echinacea. Now, to build an immune system, you just kind of do it on a basis where what we did with our daughter is that she would take Echinacea for 2 weeks and then be off of it for 2 weeks. Take it for 2 weeks and be off of it 2 weeks. And that just helped build her immune system back. Because, like I said, she had no immune system left. Yeast had taken over her body. It was to the point where it was even affecting her eyesight. It was that bad. So, they're excited. Rob's over there with them. So if you hear piggies, that's what it is. So anyways, one of the things that I always want to do is make sure that I have got Echinacea growing. Hi.
Hi.
How's things going?
Oh, I'm getting eaten up by fire ants, so I got to get my fire ant killer.
Guys, seriously, Smoke Neck, George, thank you so much. Shout out to George at Smoke Neck up there in Southside. That stuff will take care of fire ants. If you have a fire ant problem, what is it called? Surrender? Surrender. It's by Martin's. It will take care of fire ants. You can put that on a fire ant area and the fire ants will be gone.
And if you're local, go to Smoke Neck to get it.
That's right.
You can get it on Amazon. It's like twice as much.
Go to George. Go see George if you are here near Gadsden, Rainbow City, Southside. Go to Smoke Neck there on 77. Tell them Rob and Deb sent you to get some of that Surrender for fire ants. It'll take care of them. Awesome stuff. Okay. I like these tags. I think they're one of my favorite tags. If you use a number 2 pencil on them, you can erase and then reuse it next year. And it stays on there. But it's just like one of those tags. We picked them up off of Amazon. Okay, so there's that. If you haven't seen, the way that we keep our herbs is really, there's a plastic case that holds, I think, dozen and a half of these. So we organize them, like on that one, it says chamomile. I just threw Mullen in there too. So what we do is things get mixed up like that during, you know, the summer and the spring when you're planting and everything. And then we end up, I'll sit down in an evening, or might take a couple evenings. Here, let me get up here. Hi. Might take a couple evenings, but what I'll do then is then I'll go through and I'll organize, and then I've got a spreadsheet that I can make notes. Okay, we need to order this while, you know, we're getting ready for seed time and everything like that, and just kind of make it a, when you would rather be out in the garden but it's too cold and nothing's growing evening. It gives you the dreaming
So
time.
yeah, she reorganizes them, and then I can never find anything I'm looking for again.
But that means we order more seeds and we have
Yeah,
more seeds.
and then we have order more seeds, spend another $500 or $600.
You know, it works. It works. Okay, my echinacea's in. And let me put my dill in here so I can go ahead and carry it in back into the house. Now, if you guys do, I just saw these laying over here and I wanted to let you guys know, if you guys do like your own propagation, or even when you're pruning your plants and everything like that, we also found out when we were at the Homesteading Life Conference with Doug and Tracy that it's great for chicken legs and stuff like that when you're processing your chickens and chicken wings and stuff. But these little things, they're from Amazon. They're Work Pro. These are awesome little, they fit right in your pocket. They come with a little cap on them so you're not scared to put them in your pocket and get poked by it. But these are nice little trimmers. So we'll go ahead and we'll put those in the link below so you guys can check those out. I'll try to remember to put in the link below these tags, and it's just a number 2 pencil that I use with these tags. But if you don't use a marker on them, then you can use a number 2 pencil. Like I was just erasing the number 2 pencil from when we lived on Hall Drive, which was about a year ago. So I was just erasing that to put the stuff on there that I just planted up. So these tags are great to work with that number 2 pencil. It had been out in the sun and everything like that. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that there. And then I'll put the link to these as well for your seed storage if you're interested in those for your seed storage. But when you start getting organized, even if you mix things up where they can't find it and label it too good, then, you know, it's a way to keep things organized. I'm just saying. All right, let me go run this over here real quick. All right, guys. Well, that's my seed starting for right now. I have got to get out there and weed eat in between the fruit trees because we started the Espalier style trees in front of the house. And when you're doing the lawnmower, it's kind of hard to get in between all of them suckers. So it's been a couple weeks and we really need to go in between each of the trees just to make it look nice. This fall, stay tuned because we're going to end up starting to train them. We've got them in the ground. They're ready to go. And so we'll start training them to the wire this fall. And that's one of our projects. Still on the list, huh, baby?
What's that?
Training the trees for the Espalier style. So stay tuned. You'll be able to see us doing that. But we've got a lot of different apple trees and pear trees out there, and it's just awesome. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get back to your day. I hope your day is amazing and wonderful, and that you just do one more thing to get where you want to go. You guys have a blessed day. Thanks for hanging out with me here at Generations Homestead. God bless all. Bye.